Hi, thank you so much for tuning in. Yesterday I was having a conversation with a new acquaintance, and he basically related how he's inherited some properties here and there and is wondering what to do. Could he use them as security for a loan? I'm going to share my opinion on this in this episode. You're watching On Land in Kenya. I am Solomon Wangwe. So my advice is, if you have a piece of land or many pieces of land or a giant piece of land somewhere, regardless of size or location, that you're sitting on for speculative purposes or long term, you made an investment early, you don't plan to do anything with it for a number of years, what can you do to make that asset work for you in the meantime? A great way to make that asset productive for you, if you don't want to make the extra investment to develop on it or build something on it, is to use it as security for a loan. I know a number of individuals who do this routinely. They take their savings, and as we've advised before, we think it's a good rule of thumb to have at least 25 to maybe 30% of your long-term savings in real estate, specifically land. And this is where we get the term land banking from. Instead of leaving your money in the bank, you're buying a piece of land in the right place at the right time, the right way, and sitting on it for a while. In general, historically speaking, that has done a lot better for investors than any other investment class in Kenya, especially so as far as fixed deposit accounts are concerned. But if you're doing that, what can you do in the interim? I would take that title deed, go to my bank, the one I have the best relationship with, and tell them, listen, I have this piece of land, it could be 10 acres here, there, or wherever. I'm not using it. It could be zoned agricultural, which means it has a low valuation relative to residential or commercial zoning, and say, listen, it's been valued at, say, 5 million shillings. How much line of credit can you make available to me based on this as a security on your books? They'll take it, they'll do their own assessment. They might come back and say, our policy is not to give any more than 50% of the assessed value for agricultural land. So we'll give you a 2.5 million shilling line of credit that's open and available to you whenever you need. The only thing is, you've given up the title deed, it's in their custody, they register a lien. For those of you in the diaspora, you'll know what that means. Here in Kenya, we use the term charge for the same thing. It's basically the bank going to the registry and saying, we're holding this title in exchange for monies advanced to the owner, and we're holding it, and you cannot transact on it unless this charge or this lien is taken care of. And that's how you use a piece of ownership documentation or a title deed as security instrument. And you may not need the 2.5 million shillings immediately, but it's a lot better to have a pre-established line of credit sorted out with your bank, because you've given them this idle piece of land. It's an immovable asset. It's not going anywhere, right? So why not let your banker, your trusted banker, hold on to it? They can advance your line of credit against that title deed that's available to you to take advantage of opportunities that may come along abruptly, and you may not have any other source of capital. This is a great way to leverage on your idle assets, specifically land. It's a lot easier to do that with property that's already developed or producing income, like rental property. That's a lot easier to do, but this is a great way to utilize your idle land assets. I hope that information helps. If you have any questions or comments to make, maybe you want to share some of your experiences we could learn from, and others as well, please feel free to do so. You can send us an email to enquiries@goshenacquisitions.com, or you can give us a call directly at 0700010001, and you can even leave us a comment on our YouTube channel. We're happy to engage with you whichever way you like. You've been watching On Land in Kenya. I am Solomon Wangwe. Stay tuned for more information on strategic land investment.